Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today at Briggs & Mortar Heights Facebook Live, or to say lives because we're on YouTube. We're all over the place. So today I'm excited. My name is Michelle Briggs. I'm with Strata, Texas. And today we have Ed Kampf with Hygienitech Solutions. How are you doing, Ed?
Hi, Michelle. Happy New Year. We can still say Happy New Year, right?
Yes,
Okay,
2021.
good.
Oh my gosh,
Happy
can you
New
believe
Year.
it?
Yes.
I love it. I love it. Okay, you guys, I wanted to start the year off. You know, we're in January. We are here. We are live. 2021 is here. We're excited about what the future holds. And part of that is why Ed is with us, because what he has, his business. I'm going to let Ed tell us who you are. We go back many, many years, but tell whoever's watching on the replay about you and a little bit about your company.
Thank you, Michelle. I created Hygienitech Solutions back in 2015, and my company basically creates healthy environments using non-toxic chemicals. Everything started when my daughter stayed at a Marriott hotel on a religious retreat over Christmas weekend. When I picked her up, she was very sick, and I took her to a pediatrician. The pediatrician said she was in a toxic environment. A hotel room's a toxic environment. I paid a lot of money for that toxic environment. She had a rash all over the exposed parts of her body, and she just wasn't feeling well. And they put her on a Z-Pack and gave her cortisone cream and everything. And that kind of led me on a path of discovering toxic environments. And I had read previously, maybe a couple of months before, about the EPA creating a term called toxic home syndrome. And I bought a book called My House is Killing Me. And it talked about mold and bacteria and things in a home that causes ailments. You know, they say indoor air is 200 times more polluted than outdoor air. So that kind of led me on a path. I was in the mortgage industry. And then, you know, as an allergy sufferer, I wanted to find out, you know, we take pills, we go to the doctor, we get shots, we get vitamins, but we don't solve our issues. So my goal was to find out what is the root cause. And the root cause of my issue were dust mites. We spend the most of our time in our bed, 6 hours, 8 hours, and we wake up congested. We take a shower, we take a Claritin or an antihistamine, then we're fine. And it's like Groundhog's Day every day. And I came upon this Pro Cleaners network, and there was a gentleman who created a mattress sanitizing system that pulls all the bacteria and germs and mold and dust mites and dust mite fecal matter. Guess what? Nobody's allergic to dust mites. It's the fecal matter of dust mites that we ingest. And it's the dust mite fecal matter that causes migraines. It causes depression. It causes eczema, skin rashes, congestion, red eye. I mean, the amount of ailments that we begin our day with simply by sleeping on a mattress. Now, the average 1-year-old mattress contains over 1 million dust mites. Dust mites need warmth and moisture and skin follicles to survive. They don't live in drapes. They don't live in carpet. They need our body warmth. They need moisture. We breathe humidity. We shed about 2 grams of bodily fluids. So each dust mite releases 8 to 20 fecal particles a day. So I said 1 year, 1 million.
Yeah.
Well, if your mattress is 2 years or 3 years, you just multiply that. But basically, we sleep in an environment that should be the most sanitized environment. But it's the root it was the root of my problems.
Right.
And I found that after I sanitized my mattress, I haven't been to my allergist in 6 years since I started my company. And the first leg of my company was sanitizing mattresses. And I added decontaminating homes because, you know, you can sanitize a mattress, but it's like washing a car on the outside without vacuuming it on the inside.
Right.
So what I found as I delved more into the business was that there are a lot of things in our home that causes us issues,
Right.
Whether it's mold, and almost all homes have mold. If you have you take a long hot shower and you don't have an exhaust fan that's going to suck that warm air out, or a leak underneath the sink, cool air meets warm air equals condensation equals mold. So so there are a lot of things that play in our home. So what I've done is I've based my company on going into a home and making it healthy, whether it's removing allergens and dust mites and bacteria and mold. And last year, COVID-19, I was going to a lot of COVID homes. But odors, I do a lot of homes where food odors or pet odor or tobacco odor.
Right. So Ed, it brings me to say you've shared a lot, and I think that is so important for us. And with having last year the way it was in 2020, I try not to talk about it too much, right? However, what is it exactly that you do? You just shared a lot, but can you condense, if I called you and said, Ed, come over to my house, what do you do?
Okay, yeah, great question. And I warned you I was going to start rambling once you turned it
No,
around.
you're fabulous. I love it.
Okay, what transitioned me out of mortgage into this business was the recalibration of chlorine dioxide. And I was familiar with chlorine dioxide. It's been used to sanitize water systems and fruits and vegetables for years. I read about chlorine dioxide being used in New Orleans after Katrina. I've read about it being used to kill anthrax, to kill Ebola. The more I learned about chlorine dioxide, there were 35 virus kills COVID-19. But when I got in touch with the company, they were recalibrating from liquid form to smoke form. So I didn't want to go into a house and just wet everything down. I wanted to go in there with as least amount of labor as possible. So what I do is I set up my system and I mix the chlorine dioxide in a bucket, and when that water is disturbed, which I have bubblers that disturb it, the chemical billows out in a smoke form from floor to ceiling, and it kills everything on a molecular level. The size of a chlorine dioxide molecule is there are 80,000 chlorine dioxide molecules in 1 micron of dust. And so it's killing everything on a nanoscale. Right. But it billows out into smoke form, and it kills anything that is foreign, whether it's a virus. Now, I started my company to decontaminate hospitals and retirement homes and hotels. If you're going to pay a lot of money for a hotel, you shouldn't be told, don't touch the remote control, don't touch the comforter, don't touch the glass in the bathroom, don't touch anything. And I set out to do that, and then Harvey hit, Hurricane Harvey. And there were a lot of calls to action, but a lot of these homes flooded with sewer water. So there was MRSA and E. coli in these homes, but they were only talking about mold. Well, I started treating mold homes. I'm not licensed, but I'm 100% effective because I'm using it as a smoke from floor to ceiling, where these mold remediators treat from cut line down. Right. So, drying these houses.
So what I'm hearing you say is that if I call you and go, Ed, come, I have no idea. I don't know if it's mold, dust, I don't know what's going on in my house, but I wake up congested. Are you just listening to what my ailments are, and that's how you determine, or is it, sharing with you what the ailments are for me personally and what I'm seeing inside my home, that you bring your product in, and that covers everything?
It covers everything, but I do ask a lot of questions. For example, I did a home 2 weeks ago, and the homeowner was telling me, my air is so dirty that I have to clean my air filters every 2 weeks. They're black. And actually, I did it last month, and she called me saying my air filters are white. But we recondition the air in the home. We decontaminate it, and also the air ducts as well. So you're breathing a lot easier. I did a home with a guy. He had birds, and I said, you might hate me afterwards because the birds have such little lungs, and they're going to be very loud, when you bring them back in the house. And he called me saying, I'm gonna let them free because they were breathing easier. Well, that's it. Breathing easier is the key. So I'll ask questions. If it's mold related, then are you having any type of fatigue? Are you having any respiratory issues? Are you having problems sleeping? If someone just says, hey, I want my home decontaminated, then that's an easy solution where we're basically just killing everything in the home. I mentioned new construction. couple of years ago, lumber liquidators fined $36 million for the amount of formaldehyde in their wood flooring. They exceeded the approved amount. Did you know formaldehyde was in wood flooring? Did you know formaldehyde is in every new construction material because it's a preservative? So I get calls from people who are having allergy issues or respiratory issues in their brand new home. Right. So chlorine dioxide will destroy volatile organic compounds. There are 300 cancer-causing chemicals in paint. We don't think about this. Lead, we remember lead paint. No, we're talking about.
I'm going to stop you for a second, Ed. Like these are the reasons why. These are the reasons why you need to decontaminate your home. Like you need to call Ed, right, to call you, because I had no idea about this.
I didn't even get into carpet yet.
I know. Well, I interrupted, but continue. Like, it's like, why do we need to do this? And you're sharing all the reasons why right now.
I read that a baby crawling on a new carpet is equivalent to that baby ingesting 4 cigarettes. I've accumulated so much information over the course of a couple of years that we just didn't know. And in this day and age, you have to be an advocate for your own health. So I'm the only company that can go into a house and set off my system, and it might take 3 hours. It's in 3 hours. You don't have to prepare anything. You can leave food out. EPA, FDA, USDA safe. So people ask me, what do I have to do in preparation? People and pets out. Everything else, leave it alone. You can open up your closets, and it'll basically, that smoke gets into every nook and cranny. That's the advantage of using it in a smoke form. And then after I'm done, air it out, and you can go right in it. So that's the beauty of this.
So there's no odor to it?
It smells like a swimming pool. That's the chlorine dioxide. But a lot of the complaints I get is, where's that smell go? Well, the chlorine dioxide attaches to something foreign, and then it just kind of explodes as it destroys it. But yeah, some people, miss that clean smell, and some people, might be a little sensitive, but I'll tell them to open a door, just air it out, put on the ceiling fans. And I generally do that before I leave a house so that it's comfortable for them to walk in.
Right.
But yeah, it's quite remarkable. I'm so proud of using something that is environmentally safe. In my bucket, when I mix the chlorine dioxide, once it's all depleted out of my bucket, all that's left is simple salt. All it is simple salt and water. So I'm not pouring a chemical down the drain or in a flower bed. Everything is just so safe and clean.
Well, I just, all the things that you're sharing, I'm so glad that you took time out of your day to be with us, because it is so important. And when you think about, last year, this is a perfect kickoff for the year, is to, give you a call. If you're watching this today or watching on the replay, #book. There's a reason why we're using #book. #book below, and I will have Ed reach out to you, especially if you had someone in your home that recovered from COVID. This is a really great opportunity to start the year off decontaminating your home and having new air, right?
There's something else I want to show you. I bought this product 3 years ago. This is a hand sanitizer. It's called Germ-Free 24. One application lasts 24 hours. You can wash your hands 500 times. It doesn't wear off. You can it creates an antimicrobial shield that'll kill COVID and any other virus. During this whole COVID thing last year, I touched my face, I shook hands, I wasn't wearing gloves or anything. But there are things like this on the market that I'm uncovering every day that are spectacular. No chemistry in this. It's all technology. It's a foam, and once it dries, you're protected, and boom. Anything you put on your skin goes in your bloodstream in 26 seconds. So the hand sanitizers that people have been using, now it's 70% alcohol, but if it says anything on there it has some type of aroma to it, a smell to it. They all have some form of chemical on it that we're putting into our bloodstream. So, yeah,
Sorry. I have a dog, guys. Sorry.
Fragrance, that was the word I was thinking of. Anything that says fragrance. Even if you buy an antibacterial cleaner and it says fragrance on it, there's something toxic in there. So, and this is safe on dogs too. But, but anyway.
You are the first person that, you can see him in the back. You are the first person he's done that to, Ed. I am so sorry. There's a little noise outside and he just lost it. I apologize to my viewers.
Hey, it's live. It's live. Right?
That's what happens. I love it. Okay. So if you are joining us today, my name is Michelle Briggs. I'm a realtor with Strata, Texas. This is Ed Kampf with Hygienitech Solutions. I want to make sure I get that right. Well, he was just sharing with us what actually he does, right? And also why we need it. Why do we need to decontaminate our homes? And if replay, if you're jumping in right now, it'll go into a recording. You can see it in the future. You can and watch it here in a few minutes when it ends. But we want to talk about the book, #book. Put that below. Ed will reach out to you directly and have a conversation what it looks like to decontaminate your home after the year of 2020 and in going and starting a new fresh year. So tell us about this book.
Okay, I accumulated so much information, and this is a manuscript for the book. I don't have a copy with me. I'm really prepared, aren't I? It's called Your Home is Making You Sick. There were a lot of books that talk about toxic homes, but I wanted to put something together that was like a guide. Cars come with a manual of how to take care of it, but you don't get one with a house. So I talk about a lot of the things in our homes that causes cancer. I have one chapter titled "Your Shower Curtain is Killing You," and then I explain how. And it's not out of a Psycho movie, but one thing that I'm very proud of is in my book is I offer an 8-step solution where you will never need a company like mine coming out to decontaminate your homes. Everything that you can do to decontaminate your home, you can do yourself. So I talk about things like candles and deodorizers and decontamination versus disinfecting, and sanitizing versus disinfecting. There are a lot of terms that have been thrown around by companies that have just popped up, and some have been sued because they're not completely disinfecting. But the book I'm real proud of it. It's doing really well. Realtors are giving it as closing gifts to their clients, and it's basically an easy read. It's 100 pages. Most people don't read, so my goal was to keep it as compact as possible, not blah 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 like me. But that was my goal, and I'm very proud of it. And again, it's like a realtor writing a book that says how to sell your house without a realtor. But yeah, my goal is to create healthy homes. One of the sales pitches that I use with realtors to tell their clients is I removed the DNA of the previous owner. So, when you think about that, or don't think about it. Exactly. But anyway, starting off fresh and starting off new and starting off clean, that's the way to start off a year. So my process is really simple. It's not invasive. I'm not expensive. People want to know how much is it. I generally charge about 45 cents a square foot.
Wow.
I
want to jump in, and I want to let everyone that is seeing this, if you place #book below, Ed and I are going to come back in about a month, and we're going to do a Facebook Live, and we are going to spin the wheel to see who is going to win their free copy. Yay! Thank you, Ed, for that. I appreciate it greatly. I'm excited about it. And definitely, I think it's a great closing gift. So you and I will definitely be having a conversation to get more of those, right? Okay, so it's Tips Tuesday. We're closing out the conversation. What is the tip for today?
Okay. One of the suggestions that's listed in my book is, all houses have mold. And how do you avoid mold? The way to avoid mold in your house is keeping your climate at a constant, between 70 and 75 degrees. If it's below 70 degrees, open your windows. Don't turn your air off if it's above 78 degrees. Control the temperature of your house. If you can control the climate in your house, you'll control your dust mites. Okay, let's go back to your mattress. Take your,
No.
no, this is the big tip. Take off all your bed sheets, okay? Run a vacuum cleaner on top of the mattress, okay? You're just getting everything topical and surface. Get a antibacterial solution, the very safe one, no toxic, and spray it about 6 inches gently over your mattress. Don't saturate it, but just spray it over it. You'll kill the dust mites that are in there. Let it dry out. You just sanitized your mattress and you just created a healthy sleeping environment.
Yay!
As easy as that.
I love it. Well, I love that tip, and I'm probably going to do it myself now that I've really learned exactly what that is. Yikes. So again, everyone, thank you so much for watching us today. Briggs & Mortar Heights Live. My name is Michelle Briggs with Strata, Texas. This is Ed Kampf, Hygienitech Solutions. If you are watching this on YouTube, hit the subscribe button below so you can get future Tips Tuesdays. Our Tips Tuesday for Briggs & Mortar Heights is the first, second, and third Tuesday of every single month. Every single Thursday, we do Tasty Thursday, and we taste wine with Tatiana Alonso. She's a wine consultant, and we have a lot of fun. So like my Facebook page, follow me on Instagram, and I will see you Thursday night, if not next Tuesday. Thank you again, Ed. I appreciate your time, and we'll be talking soon.
Thank you, Michelle.